finished, but it's pretty close. Which you guys are actually going to notice that I don't have everything that I really need, but I have a pretty good portion of it and somewhat optimized. Keywords are somewhat. This is probably one of the oldest builds in the game, and at the same time one of the fastest as well. If put in the time and the energy for it. It's the Demon Hunter's Unhallowed essence build. Main element is fire, but there's a few items in here that I'm really missing. Mainly the memory suits to be correctly, it would be the Hellfire Amulet, but at the same time I do have it, but it's not completely optimized, which you can tell just by looking at it. But I do have almost everything that I need. Keyword is almost. But at the same time, I do have everything here. But if you notice, I do have everything here. But if you notice on my Hellfire Amulet, it's not completely optimized. And it's only not ancient, but I'm working on it. I do have a lot of things here that are optimized. A couple of them are actually ancient gear. I think I only have one. I think just one that's primal. I think just one. Yeah, just one. One that is primal, which is my helm. I have quite a few other ancient items. I think I may have only one or two that has cauldrons on it, which I think I have just one. Let me see, one. Just one. Yeah, just one. Let me go over my build, if you don't mind. The primary skill that I use is multi-shot arsenal, which is right off the bat. And I use evasive fire focus. Whenever I start need to get get my hatred generated back. Basically everything else is standard, which vault will tumble, excuse me. Companion with wolf companion, and to actually get my discipline up, as high as I could possibly go, I use preparation, invigoration for the extra 20 to max discipline. So that's at least a lot of discipline back. That's right off the bat. My passives are relatively simple. Thrill of the hunt. So whenever I use my hatred spenders, it'll slow enemies down up to 80% for 2 seconds. Steady aim for the extra damage at 10 yards. Ballistics when you started using my vengeance for the rockets. And for added damage for everybody that's above 75% health. That's more damage right off the bat. And for what I have in my cube is relatively simple. Dawn for reduced cooldown of vengeance. For extra toughness, vengeance of goons for the dark heart. That's right off the bat. And for my fire rotation, I use convention of elements. That's That's right off the bat. And I'm using this just to push greater rifts. I've already cleared a greater rift 70. I already did that already. So, also, I'm going to need all 6 pieces of Unhallowed Essence, which is helm, body armor, shoulders, gloves, pants, and boots. Now, this is going to seem a little awkward and maybe a little bit strange. For pants, for belt, I use a witching hour, especially for that extra damage. That's right, immediately. For my on-hand, Yang's recurve, that's standard whenever you're using your multi-shot. That's right off the bat. And for my quiver, Dead Man's Legacy. If you got the right rolls, you're gonna have maximum discipline on your quiver. I should have it on here, but on my bow, but unfortunately I don't. Which I should. Technically I should. And which you notice here, which unfortunately it's only 9. I only got 9 max discipline on my body armor or cloak, which should be on there. Now, this is going to be a little strange. You can go one of 2 ways on this when it comes down to your bracers. You can actually use Nemesis bracers when you're actually going for greater rifts, especially when you're activating shrines and pylons. To actually it'll start spawning more enemy champions when you're going through greater rifts. Or for a backup, you can use Rapture Clarity instead, especially when you need to actually start taking less damage. I rather prefer using my Nemesis braces anyway. Also, for which I think I may have gone over my passes, which is Thrill the Hunt. Whenever I start using my multi-shot, that'll help me start slowing down enemies further out. Steady aim for extra damage, 10 yards away or more. Ballistics, mainly used for when I activate Vengeance. And additional damage for all enemies above 75% health. Also, if done correctly, there's a small window between that 60% health and that 75% health. That shouldn't be so much, of a big deal. It may be a little small. But here comes the thing. What I use for my Hellfire Amulet, I'll rather use Awareness, which you see there on the right. Now, whenever I start actually using my legendary gems, it's pretty simple. I would rather use Bayonet Stricken for the Rift Guardian Killer, Esoteric Alteration, for that extra toughness, and Bane the Trap, which to me is the strongest gem in the game, bar none. Since the buff when using 2.6.4, the buff is now on your 6th piece. Now it's going even higher. Now it's set at 350% increased damage for every point of discipline that you have. It shouldn't be much of a problem compared to what it was last patch. It was only set at 100. And what I'll do, Set this at 70. Remember, when you're dealing with unhallowed essence, the further away you are, the more damage you're doing. Always keep these guys at a distance. So we can do this correctly. Only going to do a greater risk 70 shouldn't be much of a problem.
I wish you luck, hero.
Still waiting.
Do you want more?
Yeah, should go back for just a second. Good job on this patch. Come on. I got lucky with that. I would have
dropped. Need more time.
But I will not stand down. Sweet revenge. Could we find more like that?
Anyway.
My hatred is too low.
I love these Nemesis racers.
I need more hatred to do that.
That was just a taste.
Ah.
You won't survive that. I strangled his back.
Ooh, I got lucky.
Not enough hatred.
Feel my wrath.
My hatred is too low.
Ooh, I didn't even see him there. Come on. I did not see him there.
Sweet revenge.
Whoa.
I need more hatred to do that.
Oh, by the way, just to make sure you guys, I can clarify this. The amount of cooldown reduction you actually need for vengeance
Not enough
Your
hatred.
fear betrays you.
is actually 36.7%. Whoever tells you otherwise is lying. So, actually, I have this on PC. Only reason why I'm using this now, whoever tells you is actually higher than that is lying. Ooh.
My hatred is too low.
Hold on just a second. Get this back up.
Your fear betrays you.
The Rift Guardian.
Okay, where is he?
Not ready yet.
You have triumphed.
Ooh.
My name is Ash. When the champ, if you have a gem, let's see what we can do.
I need to go back.
Let's go back. Okay. So far, so good.
Well,
The light grows stronger within you.
Let's see what I got. Gold skin, no. Okay. Nothing really interesting. Oh, did get that. Okay, it's a start. Now, something which I didn't go over just now. Which I didn't realize it just now. Now, for your stats, for all your gear, it's relatively simple. For your helmet, Dex, Vite, and crit chance. Now, if you want to go glass cannon, remove vitality for multi-shot damage, which you guys already know the stat. For your body armor, simple. Dex, Vite, or resistance. Shoulders, Dex, or resistance. Cooldown, and area damage. Now remember, cooldown reduction must be needed, to help with this build, especially for uptime on Vengeance. Whoever told you otherwise, that's wrong. Gloves, you can go Dex, Vitality, double crit, which is crit chance and crit damage. Now, if you want to make sure you want to actually do a little bit more room clearing, take out Vitality and put area damage. Pants, which is Dex, Vitality, and armor. Boots, it's relatively simple. Well, it's not, even though it's not on here, but it's Dex, Vitality, armor, and multi-shot damage. I need to actually get that movement speed taken off and replace that with armor. Now, for your belt, you can go a couple of ways you can do this. One of them is the witching hour, mainly for damage, which was Dex, Vitality, attack speed, and critical hit damage. For your weapon, Yang's Recurve. You go Dex, damage percentage, which is needed, socket, and go back. And if you really wanted to, you can actually go, you can keep reduced all resource cost. Now, if I really wanted to, that 10% elite damage, I got lucky with that. I got really lucky with it. I mean, really. But if you notice in orange, multi-shot attacks 50% faster and the damage is increased. Well, that's on a scale between 150 to 200%. So the higher that is, the better off you'll be. Now, for your offhand, now this is guaranteed mandatory. This is this is like right up there, the way it rolls it should be. Dex, attack speed, crit chance, cooldown. Remember, you're gonna need that max discipline. You're gonna need it. and multi-shot damage. That multi-shot damage can be either that or area damage. Now, you're going to need focus and restraint, socket, crit chance, and crit damage. You're going to need all three on both rings. But in this case, you're going to need cooldown reduction on one and area damage on the other. That's guaranteed. Why? Right there. You'll be needing anywhere between 35 to 37% cooldown reduction. The more cooldown reduction you get, more uptime on vengeance you're gonna end up getting. So I got lucky. So you can put, so I can get this right, cooldown reduction on ring or a pair of gloves. What it is mandatory on your quiver and shoulders, and off Paragon points, so I can get this right, you're going to need your max out cooldown reduction like right off the bat. You'll need it. That's one. You're going to need cooldown reduction on your shoulders, which you see there. Cooldown reduction on your quiver. That's second, right off the bat. Your third would be either, which would be your ring, which I got it on, or even better, your gloves. So, hope this actually helps you. Talk to you later. Peace out.